It's the advent of Cyber 2023, and we are on a mission to save Christmas. McGreedy, you are going down. I have the THM Army with me. Let's go. Yeah. I'm a Papa Shell, but not what you think. Who am I root? Make it dead a leg sink. We are on a mission, we're here to save Christmas. McGreedy's going down, forget about the riches. Rumors gun around, McSkitty's got snitches. It's an insider threat, and everyone's suspicious. Recon McRed is hunting down a witness. He says he needs our help, so power on your system. Get your black hoodie, boot up the attack box. Hackers come together and take command of the SOC. It's the THM Army, McGreedy will get caught from the 0x1 all the way up to the gods. And it is time. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my live stream. My name is Tyler Ramsbey. We are on a mission to save Christmas, and if you've been here before, what we are doing is every single night through the month of December, we are working through TryHackMe's Advent of Cyber event and all the different challenges that go along with it. We have made it to day 17 without missing a day, and hey, before we dive in, I just wanted to give a maybe quick word, if that's the right word to even use, about the importance of persistence and just discipline. I wish I had the numbers. I don't have them, but I can just notice based on social media chatter, day one of Advent of Cyber, we had a bunch of people going through it. Day 17, if I could see TryHackMe's numbers, I guarantee you it goes like this, and then there's a big drop off as we get probably BAS day 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, as we get into these later days. And when it comes to cybersecurity, when it comes to pen testing, when it comes to learning in general, I just want to remind all of us, myself included, it really isn't about how you start, it is about how you finish. And in order to finish well, whether it's in life or a career or learning, it's those small decisions every single day that you need to make of discipline and really denying yourself in some ways for a greater joy at the end. So I would just encourage you, if you are going through this series, don't give up. Make sure you do every attempt to make it through every single day. I don't think you really have an excuse, guys. I have two young kids while I'm doing this. One of my son right now actually is sick, so I ended up being up most of the night last night because he had pink eye in both of his eyes. If you've ever had kids with pink eye in both of their eyes, it means they wake up and they can't open their eyes and they freak out. It was the first time he had that. So was up with him much of the night, was up with him early in the morning. So I have two young kids, very busy in that way and fashion. And yet I still have this discipline that almost daily, even when I'm not streaming, I'm learning. I'm going through material because I thoroughly enjoy it. But I really do think that is what will set you apart in your own career, whether it's blue team, red team, or just IT in general. That daily persistence, it's not about being John Hammond, right? But it's being a little bit better than the current version of who you were yesterday. So if you look at your life in the past month and where you're at now, if you're going in a positive direction, awesome. But hey, if you're not and you kind of have been lacking in that area of discipline, today is the day to start. Make it a discipline to jump on, to learn something, to keep moving through that. But hey, now that I'm done preaching at y'all, let's dive into the scenario. I want to say hello to those on chat. Muhammad said, Happy New Year, bro. Thank you, my friend. Happy New Year to you as well. At least it's almost New Year's. And Art Lover over on Twitch, good to have you here. Let me check out LinkedIn because I always have to refresh the chat. We have Michael over on LinkedIn. So for those of you who haven't said anything, that's totally fine. But those of you who have said something in the chat, thank you for being here. We have Cali Max. What up, Cali Max? He is also over on YouTube. But all right, let's dive in as normal. And we got George. Awesome. I'm going to keep interrupting myself. But truly, hey, if you're watching, let me know in the comments. Would love to hear from you. But if you've watched this before, what I do is we go through this live. So I haven't gone through this room, haven't gone through this scenario. I'm going into it blind, giving you my raw reaction to it, my raw learning, my raw mistakes, and we'll see if we can learn something together. Let's go ahead and dive into day 17. Congratulations, we have made it to day 17. The story, however, is just getting started. There are more things to discover, examine, and analyze. Until now, we have worked with multiple events, including prompt injection, log analysis, brute force, data recovery, exploitation, data exfiltration, suspicious drives, malware, injection, account takeover, phishing, and machine learning concepts. Yes, there are tons of anomalies, indicators of attacks, and indicators of compromise. Santa Security Operations Center, right? The SOC. Hackers come together and take command of the SOC. It's the THM Army. McGreedy will get caught from the 0x1s all the way up to the gods. I'm going to perform that live at DEF CON, guys. I'm speaking into existence. Whoever works at DEF CON, I want to be on stage. Let me spit one verse. Let's keep going. So, how can we zoom out a bit and create a timeline to set the investigation's initial boundaries and scope? McSkitty decides to focus on network statistics. When there are so many network artifacts, it's a good choice to consider network in and out as well as load statistics to create a hypothesis. Having a hard time reading this evening. Now it's time to help the SOC team by quickly checking network traffic statistics to gain insight into the ongoing madness. Let's go. All right, let's go. Hype it up myself if I have to. Learning objectives. Number 1, gaining knowledge of the network traffic data format. Number 2, understand the differences between full packet captures and network flows. Number 3, learn how to process network flow data. 4, discover the Silk toolset. I don't think I've used it before. And gain hands-on experience in network flow analysis with Silk. So network traffic data. The network data is everywhere. It's all around us. Even now, in this very task. Sounds kind of like ghosts. Network communication and traffic are the natural behaviors of today's interconnected computing world. These behaviors represent a constant data flow of daily activities, including personal interactions and business transactions. The data flow offers invaluable network management, troubleshooting, incident response, and threat hunting insights. The table below highlights the importance and key benefits of each of these aspects. So network management, so bottlenecks and such like that, troubleshooting, incident response, threat hunting. Got it. Network traffic comes in various data types and formats. Packet capture, or PCAP, also known as full packet captures, is the first thing that comes to mind. It provides a granular, raw, and comprehensive view of the network traffic. This format provides all possible data represented in packs in a ready-to-investigate format. This approach is also known as deep packet inspection. Therefore, it is an invaluable artifact for network-level operations. However, this intensive resource needs storage, processing, and analysis capacities to provide comprehensive insight into network traffic. In other words, while PCAPs are very useful for detailed analysis, they are not practical for fast analysis situations as they enclose the actual payload. This situation becomes a pain point when large amounts of data need to be analyzed. The data richness and level of detail provided by the PCAP format come from the payload it carries. At this point, it will be possible to speed up the process considerably by running the analysis process on a data format that doesn't enclose the payload data. As a result, it will be possible to process more data in a shorter time with fewer resources, leaving more time for analysis and decision making. Got it. Network flow data is a lightweight alternative to PCAPs. It's commonly used in NetFlow format, a telemetry protocol developed by Cisco that focuses on the metadata part of the traffic. In other words, it provides only the summary of the traffic. The details appear similarly to how call details appear on your phone bill. Once again, there are no packet content details with this format. This is why storing, processing, and analyzing this data format is easier. I need to sneeze, guys. Man, McGreedy is even getting me sick for my kids, but we're not going to stop. We will save Christmas. It looks like this data format will help the team accomplish the task McSkitty assigned to them. All right, a closer look at PCAPs and flows. Let's take a closer look at these two formats to see how they differ and understand what to expect from each one. All right, so we have PCAP, packet capture, granular data. Here's the biggest thing, right? All the details, summary. All right, that's a good way to remember this. PCAP gives all of it, right? So if we want to speak in the lingo of today's kids, PCAP has no cap, right? it's all true. That's me trying to be cool. PCAP is the no cap. This is how I used to study in school, right? Silly things so you remember. And then the network flow is the summary, yo. There we go. We got PCAP, no cap, network flow, summary, yo. There is my incredible teaching skills for you guys today. And yes, I made that up on the spot. And also, I'm back tomorrow night. So feel free to come join for more of my rhyming amazingness. All right, the table above highlights the conceptual differences between PCAP, no cap, and network flow, just a summary, yo, at a high level. Now, let's get into a more technical comparison of these two formats and understand why McSkitty chose this approach as a quick solution for understanding overall network traffic activities. Now, y'all make fun of me for my rhymes, but I guarantee y'all, next time you see PCAP, you're going to think PCAP, no cap. Like, that's going to be in your head, and now you have it memorized. L Forensic McBlue explains the differences in the tables below. All right, key data files. I'm not going to rhyme all of these, but this is the PCAP, no cap, right? We just have a lot more details here about what's going on. And then we have our network flow, just the summary, yo. We got IP import, protocol, TCP flags, time details, all that good stuff. Elf Forensic McBlue explains that the significant difference between PCAP, NoCap, and network flow, the summary, is the packet detail visibility and processing speed. Remember, McSkitty wants the statistics as soon as possible. You'll help the SOC team on network flows. So how to collect and process network data. Well, network data collection and processing typically involves using network monitoring and analysis tools such as Wireshark, Tshark, and TCP dump to collect information about the traffic on a network and then analyze that data to gain insight, troubleshoot, or conduct blue and purple team operations. Also, product and system-based solutions will help collect network data in flow format. The specific tools and methods you use will depend on the size and complexity of your network and your objectives. If you would like to learn more about network data capture and analysis processes, the Wireshark module can help you get started. Have I done that module? I haven't. I should, though. Maybe I did that on Hack the Box Academy. I bet it's good. Anyone in chat done this module? Let me know what you think of it. All right, the SOC team tells us they have some PCAPs and network flow records, but the available data needs to be organized and ready for analysis. Luckily, one of the team members remembered a suggestion from McSkitty. So what did McSkitty say? She said this: you can collect network flows from endpoints and network devices in the same way as you can collect full packet captures. No cap. It's also possible to convert PCAPs, no caps, and network flows summary if you need a quick look at the network statistics on a pre-recorded file. Many open source tools can help you read network flows or convert PCAPs and network flow data, and Silk is one of the most popular choices. Good news! Elf Forensic McBlue has converted all the network traffic to binary flow format, but you still need to discover how to analyze it. Well, thank you, Elf Forensic McBlue. What a nice person. Follow-up recommendations and exploration of tools. Let's continue with McSkitty's suggestion. Explore and use Silk to help SOC in this task. Hackers come together and take command of the SOC. There we go. Silk, or the System for Internet-Level Knowledge Tool Suite, was developed by the CERT Situational Awareness Group at Carnegie Mellon University's Software Engineering Institute. Lots of big words there. It contains various tools and binaries that allow users to collect, parse, filter, and analyze network traffic data. In other words, Silk helps analysts gain insight into multiple aspects of network behavior. Silk can process direct flows, PCAP, NoCap files, and binary flow data. In this task, you will experiment using Silk tools on binary formats to help the SOC team achieve their goals. Elf Log McBlue gives us the network flow data in binary flow format, so we now have enough data sources to get to work. All right, so how do we get started? Well, the Silk suite has two parts: the packing system and the analysis suite. The packing system supports a collection of multiple network flow types, IPFix, NetFlow 9, NetFlow 5, and stores them in binary files. The analysis suite contains the tools needed to carry out various operations: list, sort, count, and statistics on network flow records. The analysis tool also supports Linux CLI pipes, allowing you to create sophisticated queries. The VM contains a binary flow, suspiciousflows.silk, and the Ubuntu desktop directory. You can verify this by clicking the terminal icon on the desktop and executing the following commands. Oh, let's go to the right one. Let's get this open. We'll make it full screen. I'll zoom in out for you guys so you can see it a little bit more. Okay, desktop. And there's our suspicious flows, but it should be binary. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to read it just by catting it. You could probably, I suppose you could strings it, but that's not going to do anything for us either. We'll use the Silk tool set. The next step is discovering the details of the pre-installed Silk instance in the VM. Use the commands provided to verify the Silk suite's installation. Use the following command to verify and field the installation details. There we go. We got Silk config, part of the Silk 3.19.1 configuration settings. Silk mainly works on the data repository, but it can also process data sources not in the base data repository. By default, the data repository resides under the var Silk data directory, which can be changed by updating the Silk's main configuration file. Note that this task's primary focus is using the Silk suite for analysis. Therefore, we will only use the network flows given by the SOC team. SOC. Quick win that will help you answer the question. You now know which Silk version you're using. Word. Thank you, room creator. So that let's look at our questions. What are they? Geez, we got a lot to cover still. What version of Silk is installed in the VM? Well, 3.19.1, I would say. All right, let's scroll back up. We have good guy Greg the creator giving us some hints on the questions. All right, here we go. Flow file properties with Silk Suite, RW file info. One of the top 5 actions in packet and flow analysis is overviewing the file info. What up, Justin? Good to have you on YouTube, my friend. I think I missed TK1312. Good to have you as well. Silk Suite has a tool, RW file info, that makes this possible. Now let's start working with the artifacts provided. We'll need to view the details of binary flow files using the command below. RW file info. All right, let's do that. So what do we have here? We have the format ID, we have the version, we have the byte order, we have the compression, header length, record version, Silk version, and then how many records we have in the file size. And apparently redacted. Does that mean we have some more questions we need to answer about that? What is the size of the flows and the count records? I think that's the answer to that one. What is the start time of the 6th record in the file? Okay, so that's the only question there that we need to answer. The command is missing filtering and passing output options, which is why I didn't provide any results in return. Oh wait, we need to go. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. Back up. Oh, so it gives us that quick win again. That's nice. Reading flow files, RW cut. RW cut reads binary flow records and prints those selected by the user in the text format. It works like reading in a filtering tool. For instance, you can open and print all the records without any filter or parameter as shown in the command and terminal below. Okay, I got you. So we have a timestamp, we have a source IP, destination IP, port, destination port, all that good stuff. This will print all records and stop at the last line. Investigating all these records at once can be overwhelming, especially when working with large flows. Therefore, you need to manage the rcut tool's output size using the following command. And I'm actually sorry for those of you who can't see very well. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit so that I don't screw up the format of that. It'll be easier for us to analyze it. So we're doing rcut file name numrex5. So number of recs. I got it. Was that the syntax? There we go. So now this looks a lot easier. We have SIP, so I'm assuming source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, protocol maybe, how many packets were sent, bytes, the flags, source time, duration, event time maybe. This command limits the output to show only the first 5 record lines and helps the analysis process. Note, you can also view the bottom of the list with tailrec5. So let's just try that for fun. So, same thing. Up to this point, we read flows with RW cut. Now let's discover the filtering options offered by this tool. Recheck the output is designed by column categories, meaning there's a chance to filter some, which we noticed. RW cut has some great filtering parameters that will help you do this. At this point, the fields parameter will help you extract particular columns from the output and make it easier to read. So we have RW cut, file name, and then what fields? We're going to get the protocol, source IP, source port, destination IP, and destination port. Okay, I am going to copy and paste this because I'm not going to remember that on my other screen. Okay, that was weird. There we go. That is really nice filtering. Easy to read. This command shows the first 5 records protocol type, source and destination IPs, and source and destination ports. This view is easier to follow. Note that you can filter other columns using their tags in the filtering parameter. The alternative filtering field options are listed below. I might actually want to copy this. And let's, do we have notes or anything on here? Maybe we don't have a good note-taking thing. Do we have like... No. Okay, we could just do... just be a little easier. I'm guessing that stuff's going to come back up, so we'll just keep that data there. One more detail to pay attention to before proceeding. Look again at the RW cut terminal above and check the protocol column, which is 6. You should have noticed the numeric values under the protocol section. This column shows the used protocol in decimal format. You'll need to pay attention to this section as Silk highlights protocols in binary form, 6 or 17, not in keywords. Oh, I got you. So 6 is TCP and 17 is UDP. Below, health, blah, blah. All right. In the forensics aspect of network traffic, every detail is represented by numerical values. To master network traffic and packet analysis, you must have a solid knowledge of protocol numbers, including decimal and hex representations. Note that INA assigns Internet Protocols numbers, examples, so ICMP traffic is 1, IPv is 4, TCP is 6, and UDP is 17. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything out on the LinkedIn side of things. What up, Steven on LinkedIn? He's joining us. Good to have you here. All right, let's keep going. Quick win that will help you answer the question. You know the date of the 6th record in the given sample? Yeah, I guess I do. All you have to do is go like this. And we actually want the date now. So if we look at my handy dandy notes over here, start time would be S time, so we would just add that. And then if it's the 6th record, be this last one right here, I'm guessing this is the date it's looking for. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, they want everything. Oh, okay, I kind of get what's asking. Reminds me of the cut room where we're cutting, the log parsing room is what it reminds me of. Okay, filtering the event of interest, RW filter. We've covered how to read and filter particular columns with RW cut, but we'll need to implement conditional filters to extract specific records from the flow. RW filter will help us implement conditional and logical filters to extract records for the event of interest. RW filter is an essential part of the Silk suite. It comes with multiple filters for each column in the sample you're working on and is vital for conducting impactful flow analysis. However, even though RW filter is essential and powerful, it has a tricky detail. It requires its output to be post-processed. This means that it doesn't display the result on the terminal, and as such, it's most commonly used with RW cut to view the output. Got it. So view the examples below. So RW filter and then our file name. This command reads the flows with RW filter and retrieves an output error as the output option is not specified. And let's just follow along with all the examples. And yep, we get the same error. The command is missing filtering and passing output options, which is why it didn't provide any results in return. Let's explore the essential filtering options and then pass the results to RW cut to view the output. Remember, Elf Forensic McBlue's hint on protocols and decimal representations. Let's start by filtering all UDP records using the protocol filter and output processing options. Okay, so we're doing RW filter, and we're doing it by protocol 17, which remember is going to be UDP. And then we're going to go put it to standard out, and then we're going to use RW cut and get the top 5 records. And then we're what? Proto. And then we're using RW cut number of records. Is it equals 5 or just 5? I doing something wrong? The command. Oh, did I forget to pipe it? No, I piped it. No, the pass section must be set to process the output. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Typo. But see, guys, that's how you learn syntax, is making typos. Now I won't make that mistake again. We went back and figured out what I did wrong. So we have our source IP, our destination IP, source port, destination port, and we know these are all UDP. Packets, bytes, flags, all that good stuff. So possible values, any port. Oh, we can now, oh, I need to keep reading this. I thought it was just giving us a hint. We can now filter records on the event of interest. The alternative filtering field options are listed below. So protocols, port filter, so any port, source port, destination port. You know, let's go ahead and copy this for our notes as well. Now that you know how to filter and pass the records of post-processing with Unix pipes, we will use the alternative filter options provided in the upcoming steps. This section is a quick onboarding to make you comfortable with the RW filter. We still need a big picture summary to decide where to focus with the RW filter, so consider this step as preparation for the operation. We have the essential tools we need to zoom in on the event of interest. Let's discover some statistics and help the SOC team check out what's happening on the network. And yeah, we can get the 6 UDP record now. What does it want to know about the 6 UDP record, though? What is the destination port of the 6 UDP record? So that'd be this one, our source port, destination port. The only downside of that is I always have to scroll back up and figure out where the heck I was at. All right, quick statistics, RW stats. Up to this point, we have covered fundamental tools that help provide some statistics on traffic records. It's now time to speed things up for a quicker and more automated overview of the events. Before you start to work with RW stats, you need to remember how to use the fields parameter we covered in the RW filter section to fire alternative filtering commands for the event of interest. If you need help using these parameters, return to the RW filter section and practice using the parameters provided. If you are comfortable with the previous tools, let's move on and discover the power of statistics, which I think I am. We just do the dash values, count 10, which will actually copy this because that's good, showing us good syntax there. Well, if I didn't do all caps. Let's move this over. Move, bruh. Thank you. Okay, so count limits the number of fields printed on the console. Yep. Value shows the measurement and flows, packets, and bytes. And those values, source IP, distinct destination IP, shows the number of unique IP addresses that use the filtered field. This command shows the top 5 destination ports, which will help you understand where the outgoing traffic is going. So we can go ahead and run that command. All right, so we'll go copy. Okay, well, I know because I wasn't trying to hit enter. There we go. So destination port, and then we have the number of records. That is really good for our analysis to see. I mean, the DNS part is interesting for sure. We have port 80, which would be normal. I mean, DNS would be normal as well, depending on how it's being used. They're like exfiltrating data with it, but. We now have better statistics with less effort. Look at the terminal output to put it. It shows us the top destination ports and number of IPs involved with each port. This can help us discover anomalies and report our findings together with the SOC team. Remember, flow analysis doesn't focus on the deep details. Remember? Just summary, yo. Whereas PCAP, no cap is the full details. The aim is to have statistical data to help McSkitty foresee the boundaries of the threat scope. Quick win? You now know how to list statistics and discover the volume on the port numbers. All right. What is the record value of the destination port 53? 4160? Oh, percentage. How many decimal points do they want? Oh, they want the whole thing. All right, assemble the tool set and start hunting anomalies. Congratulations, you have all the necessary tools and have completed all the necessary prep steps. Now it's time to use what we have learned and save Christmas. Let's start by listing the top talkers on the network. All right, so what are we doing here? RW stats, pass it our file name, and we want the fields of source IP, the value of bytes, the count 10, and we want to see the top 10. So I see what it's doing. All right, so our top talker are these 175 IPs. Check the number of bytes column, percentage of bytes right there. We have revealed the traffic volume distribution and identified the top 3 talkers on the network. Let's list the top communication pairs to get more meaningful, enriched statistical data. So we want to see the source IP and the destination IP and records, bytes, and packets. All right. Count 10. So I'm just going to copy that again. Okay, so source IP to destination IP. We see all that. Look at the percentage of bytes and percentage records columns. These 2 columns highlight where the majority of the traffic originates. Now the top talkers stand out since they are creating the majority of the noise in the network. Remember what we found in the last part of the RW stats, the high traffic volume is on port 53, which I was saying maybe data exfiltration on 53, so I may have been right on that. Let's focus on the DNS records and figure out who is all involved. So we're doing RW filter, file name, port 53, standard definition out, and then we're doing RW stats, source IP, destination IP, and seeing our packets. So we have our source IP, destination IP, source IP, destination IP. There's going back and forth there. We have filtered all records that use port 53 either as a source or destination IP. The output shows that approximately 99% of the DNS traffic occurred between these 2 IPs. That's a lot of DNS traffic, and it's abnormal unless one of these hosts is a DNS server. Even though the traffic volume doesn't represent ordinary traffic, let's view the frequency of the request using the following command. So source address IP here, destination port 53, fields IT head 10. So we're going to do that with our IP, the 221 first, it looks like. .172.175.173.221. Let's try the other IP, I guess. Did I type it wrong? 172. Oh, yes, I did. I did type it wrong. There we go. One of them must be the flag. Red flag. Over 10 DNS requests in less than a second are anomalous. We should highlight this communication pair in our report. Note that we filtered the second talker, ends with 221, as it's the source address of the first communication pair. Let's look at the other IP address with the same command. .175. 219.238.243. I supposed to get that error? Maybe it's just because it provides 0 results. Did I do something wrong with my syntax, though? Yes, I did do something wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, another typo. You guys, gosh, I switched the 1 and the 9 around. That's a downside of me not copy and pasting. But, you know, you learn. You learn as you make mistakes. One final check is left before concluding the DNS analysis and proceeding to the remaining connection pairs. We need to check the hosts we marked as suspicious to see if other hosts in the network have interacted with it. Use the following command. So we are doing our IP, and then we want to see source and destination IP of anything else that interacted with it. I got you. And I am going to copy it this time so I don't type it wrong. This one right here. Okay, so we do have some others that have interacted with it. At least one other one. There's one more IP address, so let's focus on this new pair by overviewing the communication ports to identify the services. All right, hey Art Lover, thank you for being here. Thank you. Greetings from Greece. That's awesome. Have a good evening yourself. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're doing our IP address. So the new IP that we found, passing the standard definition out, and then checking those stats. I'm just going to copy that. We have the source port of 123.123, so that's interesting. There are 4 records on UDP port 123. We can mark this as normal. Yeah, I guess so. Isn't that just the time used by, the NTP service? That's right. From the volume, it looks as it should. I remember when I was doing Security Plus, that's how I remembered the network time protocol service was 123, like telling time. Up to this point, we have revealed the potential C2 over DNS. We can now elaborate on these findings in our detection notes. Detection notes, the C2 TAT. The communication pair that uses the DNS port is suspicious, and there's a sign that there's a C2 channel using the DNS connection. Guys, I called this a long time ago. Y'all heard me say that. Elaboration points are listed below. The source IP address ends with 221 sent massive DNS requests in short intervals. This pair must be analyzed at the packet level. According to the flows, the destination address has a higher chance of being the DNS server. This means the source address might be an infected host communicating with the C2, and DNSCAT2 is a tool that creates C2 tunnels over DNS packets, so it would be helpful to consider generic patterns created with DNSCAT2 or a similar tool in further analysis and detection phases. Did we find Tracy McGreedy's C2 channel? I think we did. Now let's continue the analysis to discover if there are any more anomalies. Remember, the quick statistics RW stats where we discovered the masking volume on the DNS port, that section also highlighted the volume on port 80, which I also said there might be some stuff there. Let's quickly check who was involved on that port. Let's do it. That's our 223. We listed the connection pairs that created the noise. Let's reveal the one that created the load by focusing on the destination port. Okay, oh, this is source IP and destination IP. Source IP, destination IP, and destination port. Gotcha. There's our 223 again. We have now listed all the addresses that use port 80 and revealed that the address ending with 223 was the one that created the noise by sending requests. Remember, we don't have the payloads to see the request details, but the flow details can give some insights about the pattern. Let's view the frequency and flags of the request to see if there is any abnormal pattern here. So RW filter, source address, we're looking at that suspicious address, and then we want to see source IP, destination port, flag, and source time, and head, so just the top results. Broken pipe, homie. I copy and pasted that, so you know. I don't think it really matters because it still gives us the right information. If we look at the time, this is all like really quick back to back. A series of SYN packets sent in less than a second needs attention and clarification. Let's view all the packets sent by that host first, and that's the 223 host. So, source address, source IP, flags, count 10. Is that what it's supposed to show? Yeah. Look at the results. No ACK packet has been sent by that host. This pattern is looking suspicious now. SYN, SYNACK, ACK, right? So let's look at the destination's answer. So we have no ACK packet. Source address, RW stats, count 10. I'm glad they guide us through this because I'd be very confused trying to do this on my own, just to be honest with y'all. Source IP, destination IP, 100%, SYN, ACK. The destination address sends SYN-ACK packets to complete the three-way handshake process. That's expected. However, we've already revealed that the source address only sent SYN packets. It's supposed to send ACK packets after receiving SYN-ACK responses to complete the three-way handshake process. That's a red flag and looks like a denial of service attack. We'll elaborate this in our detection notes, but we still need to check if this host has interacted with other hosts on the network using the following command. My goodness. So that RW stat, source IP, destination IP. So we just want to see, hey, is there any destination IPs that this IP interacted with? And 235 with 236. Detection notes, not a water flood. The communication pair that uses port 80 is suspicious and there's a sign of a DOS attack. Elaboration points are listed below. The source IP sent many TCP SYN packets in short intervals. The suspicious address didn't send an ACK request, representing the TCP 3-way handshake process. There's a high probability of a SYN flood attack. Who's trying to DOS that particular host and why? Is that host compromised or do we have an insider? Conclusion, congratulations, you have helped the SOC team identify the network traffic and report the potential anomalies to McSkitty. More like I just followed along. I don't think I helped much, but that's okay. In this task, we have covered the fundamentals of the network traffic data analysis process. We have also explained the two standard network data formats, PCAPs and network flows. Remember, PCAP, no cap, network flow, just a summary, yo, and demonstrated how to analyze network flow data using the Silk Suite. Now practice what you've learned by answering the questions below. Okay. We could probably do this in reverse. Oh, we'll start at the top. What is the number of bytes transmitted by the top talker on the network? And so this is our syntax right here. I think that would be our answer. What is the S-time value of the first DNS record going to port 53? What is the S-time value of the first DNS record? So that's what we were sorting by RW stats, fields, dport. We need to do it when it was doing just UDP. Here's what I'm looking for. So I think it would be something like this for our syntax. What was the question? What is the S-time value of the first DNS record going to port 53? The first DNS record. Going to port 53. What am I doing? gosh, guys. S time. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I just need to add that, I think. The frick is a hint? What? Clearly, I don't analyze network flows. Fields. Look at the bytes, blah, blah. Now, the top talkers stand out since they created the majority of the noise. Remember, we found the last part. The high traffic volume is on port 53. Let's focus on DNS records. Is this what we need to do? But we need... How do we look at all the port 53 ones? This might actually be what we're trying to do. Is this the answer? Hey, I got it. All right, just took me a little bit there, guys. What is the IP address of the host that the C2 potentially controls? That's going to be this one right here. We spent some time analyzing it. I'm pretty sure it's this one. In defanged format. Oh, no. Okay, it's the other one. Right? No, I thought this is the one that might be trying to do DOS attacks. Oh, 235 is the one I'm thinking of. No? The frick? I mean, this... No, that's not suspicious. There's this 222 one with the DNS stuff. Well, I guess if this is the destination IP, this might be the one that the attacker controls, maybe? This is the hardest challenge so far. It's the first one that's really made me actually like have to slow down and think a little bit. Gosh, what the frick is it? Yeah, I know. Source IP sent massive DNS requests. This pair must be analyzed at the packet level. The destination address has a higher chance of being the DNS server. This means a source address might be an infected host. I got you. So you're thinking this one. I'll manually defang this beast. Rip his fangs out. What? What obvious thing am I missing? Is it the 222 one? Didn't I already do that one? If anyone's done this room, tell me the answer. I don't clearly don't fully comprehend this. I'm gonna have to watch the video. Finally. I thought that was the first one I did. What the frick did I do the first time? Oh, I did this 223 one, but then I thought I did the 222 one. Apparently I didn't. Oh well, I got it eventually. Which IP address is suspected to be the flood attacker? That's the first one I did, the denial of service one, without sending the attack back, hack back, wrap that. I think it's this one. No, it's this one. That's the same thing. Synac. That sends Synac back from 235, but 236 only does not do the ACK. What is the SYN packet's number of records? What is the sent SYN packet's number of records? I don't freaking know. List the stats of the packet flags. So would that be RW status? I think that's RW stats. So would it be something like how do we list flags? How do we do flags? Oh, frick. Hold up, if I don't. What if we don't sort by fields at all? What does it give us? Oh, hey. What was the question? What is the sent SYN packet's number of records? Is that the answer? Oh my gosh, I got it. Okay. That was by far the toughest room, at least for me. For those of you who do network analysis, I'm sure that was easy peasy, lemon squeezies, my kids would say, but not for me. But you know what, guys and gals? We worked through it. We did it. We completed day 17. Took me a little longer than normal, but there we go. I'm going to go watch the video now so I can understand it better. But we are done. We completed day 17. We are still on this mission of saving Christmas, and so far we have been successful 17 out of 17 days. So for all of you taking the time to watch this live with me stumbling through it, thank you for taking the time to do that. And for those of you who might be watching the recording afterwards, thank you as well to you for taking the time to watch the recording. Just by way of reminder, I will be back tomorrow night, same place, same time, and we will continue this mission of saving Christmas. So thank you for being here. I will see y'all tomorrow for the next one. Peace.